they're not going to be able to give their all to the trip, to the journey. They're going to constantly be worrying about this tow rope that is in between them, instead of just letting themselves drive themselves. Hello. Today I'm going to talk about something that's been on my mind that is a very difficult subject for many people. And that is attachments. And the misconceptions of what they are. Now what I'm going to be speaking about goes for objects as well as people. But since it's a lot harder, and sometimes a lot more valuable to know about people, we'll stick with the subject of attachments to people in this. But it also goes for objects. You can lose attachments to objects and still have them. You can practice letting go by giving away your objects. But we can't practice letting go giving away people. We can, depending on the circumstances, but let's think about some things. What are attachments? What's an attachment? It's the feeling of tethering yourself to something. And we feel if we let it go, it's going to go off like that river. Never come back. But is that really how it works? I've written some notes in my little book. And let's see what we have. Get rid of your attachments. But you do not need to get rid of what you're attached to. Seems counterintuitive, but it's not. Think about it like this, and this especially goes with people. Let's say that you have two vehicles. They're traveling a path together. They want to reach a destination. They want to drive with each other. Now, vehicles can go, they can drive next to each other, they each have an engine. One can follow the other can follow another, they can switch around, they can drive next to each other, drive behind each other. If need be, they can even go separate paths and then come back onto the same road. Let's say one vehicle wants to take a shortcut and go up the mountain, but the other vehicle simply can't follow. So this vehicle goes around another way, but they still end up back on the same road. If those two vehicles enjoy driving together, then what is the reason why they will not? But what happens if we add an attachment? What happens if, instead of just letting the two vehicles drive together, we put a tow rope on those two vehicles, or those two vehicles put a tow rope on each other? It's not going to go as well. You're still going to have two vehicles that so desperately want to stay together that they attach themselves. And now they have to drive along. And depending on who's pulling, that vehicle is going to have to pull that vehicle along. Perhaps they switch sometimes, pulling at each other. But there is going to be conflict. Even in the cases where there wouldn't be without that attachment, they will start to tug on each other. They will pull here and there. What happens if the vehicle wants to stop suddenly? They just need to stop. And the other one doesn't want to stop. Either that one is going to have to wait for the other one to get going again, or is going to try to pull the other one and drag the vehicle behind him, because he won't stop unless he wants to stop, but he won't want to stop. But if he didn't have the tow rope, he could have just went on ahead, and the other one would catch up eventually. And then, what happens if that one wants to take one path, and then the other one wants to go up the mountain, and the other one, not by choice, simply can't go up the mountain, but they are attached by this tow rope. They have to go up it. So the one that is strong enough to pull has to pull, and will have to pull the weight of the other vehicle. And then the other vehicle has to do its best to get up the mountain. And then by the time it's down the mountain, it has stressed itself out and damaged its engine, most likely, one or the other. Instead, it could have just taken another route and met up, but they had to stick together. Now, of course, you know this analogy isn't just meaning stick together close by physically. We're talking mentally as well. So the vehicles pull and push, and sometimes the vehicle is lets go of its brakes, it hits the other one, it smashes the bumper. And what happens if they reach their destination? Both vehicles may end up damaged. They may be damaged more than if they didn't have that tow rope. And what happens if they were attached and don't want to be attached anymore? They have to cut the tow rope. And then they feel that they can't be together anymore because that tow rope is disattached. And what happens if they disattach the tow rope and it's under stress? If they disattach it whilst it's being pulled, the tow rope will snap, and the hook that is on the tow rope could smack back, hit one of them, break a windshield. It's a very good analogy of what an attachment is. Or they could have simply not had an attachment and been fine. They didn't need one. It was their own, engines, in the human's case, hearts, that were keeping them together. In an object's case, it's simply the fact that we like it personally. But we know we don't need it, per se. But with a person, it's all about the heart. Now, if the vehicle didn't want to travel together, then why would they want the tow rope anyway? It's a puzzle, but if they don't need the tow rope, the two vehicles will stick together anyway. And that's why I think that we do not need an attachment. Simply enjoy what we want whilst it's around, and when it is not there, it's not there. We know that if it is in resonance with us, we will see it again. If you're harmonious with the thing that you perhaps could have an attachment to, it's not going away, whether you have an attachment or not. And in fact, you will enjoy when it is with you, when the thing is with you, if you don't have an attachment. Because if the tow rope is attached to the vehicles, the two vehicles are going to be worried that they won't be able to pull each other, that they will become disattached eventually. And so any interaction with that vehicle is going to be tinged with a hint of worry. And they're not going to be able to give their all to the trip, to the journey. They're going to constantly be worrying about this tow rope that is in between them, instead of just letting themselves drive themselves. If without that tow rope, the journey is harmonic and is going well, then there is no reason for them to split up. If they need to split up temporarily, the vehicles will go, they will come back, it will all be fine. if it's not harmonious, then what are they driving together for? Because if you cannot focus your attention on what is in front of you, and you're focusing on the rope and not the other vehicle, then you cannot fully immerse yourself in the present moment. And of course, we have to remember to always love and respect ourselves first and foremost. And then, when we feel that, it will go out and all will be well. Don't focus on attachments. Don't think that being attached to something is going to get you that something. It may even cause it to go away. And don't think that not having an attachment means that the thing that you love is not going to be there anymore. And that's something that I've been thinking about and thought I'd share it with you. With this nice, cozy river that was very cold. I can confirm. So thank you for watching. Just a quick video. Always remember to breathe. And love and respect yourself. And keep it simple.